It's time for a little comedy, a little content, and a lot of conversation. It's the Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube. Now here's your host, Geno Jones.
Hey, it's Geno. It's showtime. What's happening, everybody? Thank you for watching. Give yourselves a hand. The Geno Jones Show. I come to you live Monday through Friday. Now, there was no live show yesterday. We had some equipment problem. We had to replace a mic. I got a brand new mic. So, actually, you'll see like an episode. Well, anyway, there you go. We got everything fixed. So, we're here. How about that? Don't live in the past, Geno. Don't live in the past. So, here we go. I'm here. I'm happy to be here. My normal days and times are Monday through Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern. If you're in Chicago right now, 5:30 p.m. Shout out to my mom who can hear me. She can't watch. She had cataract removed. So I just want to thank God. I want to thank the eye surgeons and the doctors and the nurses. Shout out to my nephew, Chris, my mom's housekeeper, Kiki, and everybody that's been there for my mom. So I really, really appreciate it. She's my life. So I'm real happy about that. And want to lift any and everybody up in prayer whose family may be having some health challenges or physically, mentally struggling this time of year, holiday season. Unfortunately, it can be very hard for people that lost family members that are no longer here. Depression, suicide tends to tick up. So listen, Serena Williams said, a shout out to Serena. She posted on X that, hey, I'm not okay. And I just want to let you know that it's okay not to be okay. And that I love you, and I'm paraphrasing, tomorrow's going to be a better day. As a matter of fact, there it is. As a matter of fact, let me move something. I can see that. She said, if you are not okay, I'm with you. There's always tomorrow. Love. That's true. But any day above ground is a good day. Even if it's a bad day, it's still a good day because you're above ground. And you can always make a bad day better. And you can always make a bad day even great if you are here. If you are above ground, it can be fixed. It may seem like your troubles are so deep and heavy that, oh God, no one can help me and I can't solve it. That's not true. As long as you can go inhale and exhale, if you are above ground, your worst day, 6 feet above ground, is always going to be better than your best day, 6 feet below ground. So I just want to start the show off in the spirit. Just put that was placed on my spirit to share it with you. Now, let's talk about who really gave you them Stimmy checks. Oh, and who canceled that student loan debt. Because there's been a lot of talk. As a matter of fact, so there's a podcast out. The New York Times newspaper, they have a podcast called The Run. And I guess they were talking to some black folks, black voters, and some brothers. And apparently, there were some black men that said, and I'm paraphrasing a quote, they felt that Joe Biden has forgot about the black male. They said, we get pushed to the side. Our needs are not being taken care of. Now, listen. These brothers probably are married, and and maybe they got triggered somehow, because I'm sure there's a whole lot of married men that have said that to their wife, or even their girlfriend, or they boo or bae, that they feel like they get pushed to the. And God, oh man, if you got kids, oh, you really tripping, you and your feelings. I know, I've been there. I'm raising my hand. I've said it. Just ask Damaris. I know I've driven her crazy. I feel like, you put me last and you put everybody before me, I'm last. You can put Teddy and Minx. You can put the dog and the cat before me. And I feel like, I don't feel like my needs are being met. I guarantee you, Damaris would tell you, if she got $1 for every time she heard that from me in the last nearly 3 decades, she'd be a billionaire. So I get it, fellas. I do. But let's really talk about that. Brothers, black folks in general, but brothers, that you say that Joe Biden has forgot about the black male. Now, let me ask you a question. Any of you black men out there with student loan debt? As a matter of fact, have you checked your email today? Have you checked your email in the last day or two? You might have an email that says, congratulations from President Joe Biden. This is not a joke. I'm not bullshitting you. This is real. Check your email. Check your spam folder. The subject line, congratulations from Joe Biden. And you know why he said congratulations? If you got that email? So over 800,000 people in this country this week got an email from President Joe Biden. Congratulations. Why is he congratulating you? Because your student loan debt balance is zero. Did you know that? Have you checked? Probably haven't, because you're probably afraid to even go to that website to look at your student loan because it just depresses you. Anxiety, makes you want to do crazy stuff. I get it. Check your inbox. Check your spam folder. 800,000 people just this week got that email from President Joe Biden. So I know some brothers out there that got one of those emails. Out of the 800,000 people I know, not to mention folks that got student loan debt forgiven before that. I'm sure there's some brothers out there, or some brothers that's got a daughter or son or a grandchild or somebody in your family. But some of you brothers got that student loan, that email, that congratulations from President Biden. Your student loan debt balance is zero. Okay? As a matter of fact, $127 billion in student loan debt. Now, so brothers, let me holler at you. How many of you all had a felony charge for simple marijuana possession? You had a joint, they want to give you a felony charge, possession for a joint, or half a joint, or a roach. Did you know that the dude, you call him that old dude, is out of touch, and Genocide Joe? Did you know that he pardoned all prior federal offenses for simple marijuana? If you had a simple marijuana charge, if you had a felony simple marijuana charge, that charges, you had been pardoned. Okay? You're good. No more simple marijuana felony possession charge on your record. He pardoned all of them. Anybody that had a prior federal offense or felony charge for simple marijuana possession. Did you know that? You might be watching my show right now. You don't twist the one up. You might be smoking. You might be smoking a joint right now, watching me live, or just watching me on demand when you get time to watch it. Did you know that? You may be sitting around thinking that you still got that felony charge for simple marijuana possession. Didn't know that your ass had been pardoned. Yeah. Brother, black men, that pardon included black men, white men, Hispanic men, pardon women, pardon all prior federal felony simple marijuana possession charges. Okay? All right. Now, let's talk about what's happening over in Gaza and Israel. I won't be long. I won't. I promise. Because, and I get it, especially a lot of my Zillennials, my Gen Zers, and some millennials, but my Gen Zers, they see what's happened. First of all, on October 7th, what happened to those innocent Israelis was horrible. When Hamas, which is just a straight up terrorist organization, they want to create havoc and terror, because that's how they stay in power. All right. They murdered and raped, slaughtered over 1,200 Israeli citizens. I think some that were like dual citizens, Israeli American citizens. And the government of Israel retaliated. Now, how they did it? Killing, I think that the death count is like 15,000 Palestinians. It was in Gaza, which primarily were just innocent citizens, women, children, and babies. Now, the Israeli government complained about Hamas was that they were less than, they're inhumane. You couldn't even be human to murder and kill babies. Shot, killed. You know, some folks said that there were beheadings, but I think they debunked that. But anyway, they murdered, slaughtered babies and women, innocent women, children, men. But then the Israeli government goes. Now, you have to understand that the Prime Minister of Israel is a dude named Benjamin Bibi Netanyahu. He is Israel's version of orange jumpsuit Hitler, Donald Jackass Trump. As a matter of fact, Netanyahu wanted to be a dictator, still wants to be a dictator. And his cabinet, his like immediate staff, his team, all what they call far right-wing, basically white nationalists. White nationalists. Just like the white Christian nationalists, racists here, they're white nationalists. They just are not Christians. They practice Judaism. The same energy, the same vibe, the same hate. Now, my opinion, this is a fact. Don't believe me? Google Haaretz. I believe it's pronounced Haaretz. I think it's Haaretz. Haaretz, or Haaretz. That is one of the two main newspapers in Israel. 80% of the people in Israel want Bibi Netanyahu out, gone. As a matter of fact, did you know that Mr. Netanyahu, he was cool with Hamas? He's helped get Hamas money and credibility and legitimacy in the past because he was trying to pit one group of Palestinians, or a group that supposedly represents a group of Palestinians in the Gaza Strip, which is just a little 25-mile long strip of land, 7 miles wide, I believe, something like that, just southwest of Israel. It's like Israel is there, and you'll see like a little Gaza, and then to the east of Israel is a place called the West Bank. We have a whole nother group of millions of Palestinians living basically under occupation, even though the Palestinian organization, they kind of run as much as Israel, the government of Israel, will allow them to do. And Netanyahu said, that typical white nationalist, racist, let's divide and conquer these folks. So he was cool with Hamas and was, supporting Hamas and made sure that, gave them money, or made sure that they got money and gave them some credibility and legitimacy, and they turned on his ass. Like a pit bull gone bad, or a Rottweiler went wild and went bad and attacked his owner because he was trying to pit one group of Palestinians against the other. So you've got a prime minister who 80% of the people in Israel don't like, want him out, that before October 7th, every Saturday, you had over 100,000 Israelis protesting because Netanyahu tried to take over their version of the Supreme Court to give himself more power so he could become a dictator. As a matter of fact, you still have tens or hundreds of thousands of people protesting. Now, yes, the majority of people in Israel, they want Hamas. They have to be eradicated. You got to get rid of Hamas. But here's the problem. out of 15,000 people, I haven't heard about 100 Hamas leaders or members that were killed. They talk about they got tunnels under hospitals, but the video, the pictures, the video that people saw were not of no Hamas members, with their masks on and all that, with their weapons, automatic weapons. You saw, women and children in hospitals and men who were not members of Hamas. So, Joe Biden took a lot of criticism from a lot, especially younger, not just brothers and sisters, young people in general. Called him Genocide Joe, and you giving Israel money. Well, first of all, let me explain to you how that works. All right, listen up closely. My Gen Zers and my millennials and everybody else. First of all, understand it. America, basically, financially, they have been supporting Israel basically since Israel became an official, the modern day state of Israel, which was created in 1948. And basically, the United Nations kind of sat around, and when Great Britain had colonized that land that was called Palestine, which is now where you see the state of Israel on a map, on a current map, was called Palestine. And Great Britain colonized that land like they did everybody else. And apparently, after World War I, the powers that be said, okay, listen, all right, England, Great Britain, and France, we're going to kind of leave you all in charge to kind of manage the situation. Great Britain, you kind of colonized it, so you run it. So you had Palestinians that had been living there for a while. But then the UN, they kind of got together and said, okay, we got to create a home for the European Jews that were displaced because of the Holocaust. So there were actually three countries, three pieces of land that they were considering to create and turn it into the new state of Israel. Where you see Israel now, which was called Palestine before 1948, really made the decision in 47, and two other countries in Africa, Uganda and Kenya. Yes, these same major countries, Great Britain and France, the United Nations, and the United States, kind of sat around and said, okay, we have to give these displaced Jews, European Jews, the ones that survived the Holocaust, they deserve their home. And then there's religious connections between, because the three major religions, Christianity, Islam, and Judaism, all originated right there in this little area around Jerusalem. That's a whole nother conversation. So the decision was made, Great Britain, France, United States, we got to create a modern day state of Israel so the European Jews will have a home. But now the tricky part was the Palestinians historically were living on the same land. But the state of Israel almost was not going to be where it is now. There was consideration that the state of Israel would be where Uganda is right now or where Kenya is right now. I don't know, how crazy is that? We just going to say, okay, we're going to create a state for a group of folks. Okay, somebody else has been already living there. What does that sound like? America, the United States of America, which was one time 2/3 of this country, was called the United States of Mexico. That's a different conversation for a different day. Here's an assignment for you. When the show's over, Google a map of Mexico, year 1700. Watch what comes up. The United States of Mexico went all the way up to where the state of Washington is, Oregon, Montana, all of California, all of Nevada, all of West Colorado now, Wyoming, Idaho, Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, Arkansas, and Mississippi, all the way to Louisiana. You can find a map, Google a map of the United States of Mexico. Just type in the year 1700. I digress. So the point I'm trying to make is that for centuries, you've had these world powers and men in power that sat around and like it's a monopoly game. Oh, we're gonna invade. They call it colonize. Oh, the people there are uncivilized. They were just gonna say, well, we'll just take the European Jews that were displaced. We'll give them a homeland. Where Uganda is. How do you think the Ugandans would have been like, well, hold on, wait a minute, man. Here, I'm going to make it real simple for you. Just imagine if you live in a city and the mayor and the city council and maybe the governor of your state say, you know what, we got a group of people that, they got kicked out of their home for whatever reason. Somebody in there was abusive. So we got to find a new home for them. So we kind of like your home. So we want to give them a home. Now we know you live in there, but we want to give them your home. So y'all have to figure out how you're going to live there together. That's what was happening, young people. So why am I sharing that story? That's so quickly is because I want you to understand that it ain't like Joe Biden just said, oh, I'm just going to support. First of all, him and Bibi Netanyahu are exact opposites. But America has been committed to supporting the state of Israel since the state of Israel was created. And America has been giving, you can Google it, has been supporting financially, giving aid to the state of Israel for their defense because of what happened to the European Jews, which makes sense. But America's been doing this, Democratic, Republican presidents, all the way back. John F. Kennedy, Richard Nixon, Jimmy Carter, Ronald Reagan, Daddy Bush, Bill Clinton, Barack Obama, and your boy Orange Jumpsuit Hitler. All of them. America has been supporting the state of Israel for decades. So it ain't like Joe Biden can say, oh, no more money to Israel. And first, even if he wanted, let me give you a quick civics lesson. Even if Joe Biden wanted to do it, he don't control the money. Now you're saying, wait a minute, Geno, he's the president. No. Quick civics lesson. You got to read, man. America, under this form of government, you have three co-equal branches of government. The executive branch, that's the president. The legislative branch, that's the U.S. senators and the U.S. House of Representatives. And you've got the judicial branch, the Supreme Court. The Congress, specifically the House of Representatives, the U.S. House of Representatives, they control the money. They're like the sister or the dude at your job that gives you your check every payday or direct deposits your money into your bank account. If you need petty cash for something, you go see that person. That's what the House of Representatives are. They're like the business manager. They control the money. The Senate, they approve of it. They kind of like oversee the House, but the House controls the money. Initially, they decide. Now the Senate, primarily, they are responsible for appointing judges to the Supreme Court. Well, you see how that's worked out lately. That's how we lost, women lost their right to reproductive freedom. The Supreme Court decision, Roe versus Wade back in '73, that said that women had a constitutional right to have an abortion because that's what they want to do with their body. And now this new Supreme Court with the MAGA judges, it's like, the three that Orange Jumpsuit Hitler put on there, well, you know what? We think that decision, that Supreme Court ruling was unconstitutional. Meant that they don't like it, they don't think it was right, so they struck it down and said, listen, the states, y'all do what you want to do. You want to ban an abortion? Have at it. In all these states, including South Carolina, they knew what was coming. They already had the legislation drafted, in place. As soon, they had what they call trigger laws. And as soon as the Supreme Court struck down Roe versus Wade, that second, abortions were illegal in a lot of these southern states. Now, it was a court battle here in South Carolina because the governor had the trigger law and some people filed suit and it went to the state Supreme Court. So he was eventually allowed to go ahead, that ban, abortion ban, the state Supreme Court said, okay, go ahead, do what you want to do. So the point I'm trying to make is that even if Joe Biden wanted to say, we're not going to send any more aid, no more money, no more weapons to Israel, it ain't his call completely. He don't control the money. The House of Representatives. So it's important that you all understand this. But let me wrap it up with this, since we're talking about what Joe Biden didn't do. And I think we've had about close to 100. I don't have a number in front of me, but well over 100. As a matter of fact, well over 100. I think it was like 250, somewhere around 250, 240 hostages. You know, nearly half, if not half, maybe half, over 100. Somewhere around between 150, 180. You can Google it and find out. And you know, the one person in the one country that is responsible for the hostages being released and to get Benjamin Netanyahu's racist, white nationalist ass to just pause for a week was Joe Biden. Was the United States, was Joe Biden. It was like, and he's saying now, listen, you got a right to go after Hamas, but you're going to have to do it without killing all these innocent Palestinians. He had been saying it privately to Netanyahu and the Israeli government, like away from the cameras, but he's saying it in front of the cameras, to the camera, and away from the camera. So I just wanted to just put y'all up on game. So when you talk about with Trump, so if you hear Sexy Red or Waka Flocka Flame say, well, you know, Trump, the hood is down with Trump because he gave us some Stimmy checks. No, his ass didn't give you shit. He didn't even want you to get the money. Congress gave you the money, and his arrogant ass just took a giant ass Sharpie like a kindergartner, like a kid in kindergarten class learning how to write their name, and took a black Sharpie and wrote his name like he was drawn on a poster. That's what your boy did. He didn't give you jack. But guess who gave you that second Stimmy check? See, you forgot about that. You talked about the first one, but you didn't talk about the second one. And who gave you that second Stimmy check? He just didn't sign his name in black Sharpie like a kid in daycare. Was President Joe Biden. Oh, he also made sure that you got the child tax credits, that $300 you were getting every month and $250 until the cult members, the MAGA cult members, took control of the House of Representatives. And then the money was stopped last January. Just putting you up on game. So now you know. So when y'all sitting around in the barbershop or in the hair salon, or you visiting folks for the holiday, because I know y'all had them conversations during Thanksgiving. Well, you know, the hood is down with Trump because he gave some Stimmy checks. He didn't give your ass jack. He didn't even want your black ass to have him. But you know who made sure you got the second Stimmy check and who made sure you got vaccinated? Because your boy didn't even want to tell you. He knew about COVID, didn't want to tell people. And he said it himself, because I don't want to panic people. So he knew what was going around. In February, before it really hit here, he knew in January, February, March, and was telling people to drink bleach and take like black light, fluorescent, we used to call them black light posters. Take some damn black light, blue light, and put it down your mouth drinking bleach, disinfectant. He was slow on the vaccine, but you know who made sure everybody got vaccinated? Because for a minute, it was hard for like black folks to even get vaccinated. All the places was like in the affluent European, Caucasian areas. But who made sure that everybody got vaccinated, got vaccines out in mass? I'm just saying. And look, I ain't on nobody's payroll. Biden ain't paying me nothing, but I'm gonna close by telling you this. 2024, this election, it's not even about President Biden. It's not about a person, not about a man. It's really not even about policy. This election, my young brothers and sisters and everybody, but especially my young brothers and sisters, please understand that you ain't voting for Joe Biden. You are voting for somebody that will stand up for your freedom, or a wannabe dictator that has plans in writing. Google Project 2025. On Inauguration Day, your boy has said it, Orange Jumpsuit Hitler said he will institute something called the Insurrection Act, which will allow him to send Marines, the U.S. military, send Marines, Army Rangers, and the Air Force into whatever city where you have peaceful protests. So remember all them protests when George Floyd was murdered? Because they had a protest in D.C. and he tried to send out these dudes, federal law enforcement officers, federal police, all black uniforms with no name tags and nothing. Like Hitler did in Germany in the 30s. He's telling you, ain't gonna be no peaceful protest. Ain't gonna be no protesting. Because on Inauguration Day, if y'all try to rise up and start marching in the streets, I'm sending in the U.S. military. I'm sending the Marines and the Army Rangers. And understand, there's a reason that countries don't allow their military to police their population. There's a reason. The military, they weren't created to police their own populations. Talk to anybody in your family that's in the military still, or a veteran, somebody that served in the military. In boot camp, when you first get in the military, ask them, what do they train you to do? They don't train you to police. They train you to kill. And that's why you don't send, that's why no president has ever sent the U.S. military into any city or state to police the citizens. First of all, I'm not going to get into the whole constitutional thing. That's not supposed to happen anyway. Not here in America. That's what Putin does. And folks, Erdogan in Turkey and Orban in Hungary, that's what they do, that shit over there. But your boy wants to bring it here. So thank you for letting me be a part of your life. As always, God bless each and every one of you. You and especially you and God most of all. Thank you for letting me do the Geno Jones Show live Monday through Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern. Shout out to Mark Hill Bailey, the official barber and hairstylist for the Geno Jones Show. Check him out. Brand new location. He is the CEO of Designer Cuts on Instagram. Kel B Cutting Up. KELBECUTTINUP. Check his work out. You see it, right? Kel B Cutting Up. And Allie Jones, the official wardrobe consultant and stylist for the Geno Jones Show. Check her and her collection, fashion designer. Check out her lx.ncl collection on Instagram at her Instagram page. lx.n like Nanette, C like Charlie, L like Lexi, underscores that little dash below. So, hey, is that Jody? Hey, Maisha. Hey, how you doing, my friend? How you doing, stranger? So I have some business leaders here, business owners that were guests. Maisha Rush was a guest. I have a segment where support Black-owned businesses, and who's that? Joni Jones. Hey, what's up, everybody? I appreciate you all watching. Screen grab some of this. I know I had a whole lot of nuggets, so you want to break it up. Go ahead and screen grab 1 or 2 minutes or 3 minutes of this monologue, chop it up and put it up on TikTok, on Instagram, on X, Twitter. Even though Elon Musk, I really don't mess with his races, but go ahead and put it up there, because that's where all the racists and white nationalists are, on X, which used to be Twitter. So they need this. Oh yeah, put them up on game. Put the truth up there. Now, I don't know how long Elon Musk will let it stay, but I don't give a damn. Screen grab and put it on X. Put it on Facebook, Instagram. Go ahead, create a YouTube short and put it up here on your page. Tag, copy and paste the link, email it, text it to everybody, tonight's episode. Oh yeah. So for those who say, President Biden has forgotten about the black man, the black male, as that black male, did him or any brother he know, did they have a felony marijuana possession charge that was pardoned by the dude that don't care about black males? Or did they get an email this week, or maybe in the past, that said that their student loan debt balance was zero? 800,000 people got that email saying congratulations from President Joe Biden. Your student loan balance is zero. Friday, live. Kind of my weekend review, wrapping up the week, my weekend review show. And I think I'm expected to have a guest. She is got several nonprofits doing great work. We were going to have her on last night, but we had some equipment issues, technical difficulties. We had to replace microphones and all that. So we'll see you live. So go back, if you missed some of this, go back and binge watch it. Make sure that you copy, paste, email, tag, text, tweet the link, this episode to everybody you know, especially, like I said, for those who say Joe Biden forgot about the black male, or just black folks in general. All right, I'm out of here. Thank you for watching, everybody. I love each and every one of you. We'll see you live Friday, 6:30 p.m. I want to thank everybody in my chat room. Hey, Rick Party, my mellow, my family. Rick, listen, man, I want you to come on the show. I've always wanted you to come. I know how busy you are, but I want you to come on the show and promote not just your show, what you're doing, Rick Party is family. He and I are from Chicago, grew up in radio. He is like in the Black Radio Hall of Fame, one of the most talented people on the planet. I'm honored to call him family, and one of the premier voice actors on the planet. So you got to come on, Rick. We're going to chop it up and just talk about whatever. It'll be the show that we always dreamed about doing together, co-hosting together. Now we have our own media companies and our own platforms, so we can chop it up like that. So give me a call. I got to get you on, Rick. We got to do this before 2024. We'll see you live Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 in Chicago, 3:30 p.m. on the West Coast. Thanks for watching, everybody. I love you.
Subscribe and tune in to the next episode of The Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube.